Hey, good morning. It's Jim from JAGfx.com. It is Saturday, the 16th of August 2025. This is my weekly analysis video where we have a look at some of the Forex pairs I'm trading on the daily time frame using the high probability and divergence trading methods from my books. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching the video. It's always appreciated, obviously. If you do like it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That's always appreciated. Also, I know they're not the best quality videos here. I think I even messed up my 8-hour one this week, but as long as I get the message across, that's the main point. Hope everyone's weekend's going okay. I'm not feeling 100%. I don't know. I think my brother and his wife are here for about 12 days, and they like to party a bit. So I've been out for 3 nights during the week, and I think it's all caught up with me. Luckily, they've gone to Ho Chi Minh City for the weekend, so I'm having a break from drinking and just trying to do some work, catch up my work stuff and that. Yeah, my football team, the Roosters, had a big win last night, which is good, so that's out the way for the weekend. Other than that, everything's fine. All right, let's get into it. Let's find the charts. Like I said, these are daily charts. This is TradingView. I do all my trading analysis on TradingView just because it's a simpler platform for me to write notes, etc. on there. All my trading is actually done on MT5, or the majority of it is. I don't think I've got any live MT4 accounts these days. This is my watch list on the right. They're all slightly different colours. Don't worry about them too much. It's in alphabetical order, hopefully. I'm not a trade signal provider, so please don't follow me blindly. I make plenty of mistakes. I've even identified another one I've made this week, but I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm just sick of doing. Sometimes I think I just lose concentration, or because I'm on the charts for so long, doing a lot of other stuff at the moment too. So, especially with my poor eyesight at night time, and I don't like bright lights, so I tend to work under poor lighting at night, and I make some. My eyes don't see everything they should be. Who knows? That's my excuse anyway. All right, so just don't follow me blindly. Do your own analysis. Like I say in all my books and that, I'm just here to give some trading ideas on entry and trade management. So let's start off my list. We'll go through them all. Aussie CAD. Now, keep in mind that you'll see LRM, which is my loss recovery based on the MACD Platinum. A lot of people don't trade like that. A lot of people still like to use traditional stops. Nothing wrong with that. Any trade signal I identify is based on a good setup normally, or a setup, a valid buy or sell setup. And there's nothing stopping you placing your own stop or own profit target or anything like that. A lot of my stuff, I don't use stops because I've got a plan for trade management. That's all. So that last buy we took was this blue line here. Just ignore the previous grey vertical lines unless you're trading the same way as me. They're just previous trades I've taken on this pair. These yellow lines are my loss recovery targets. That's these pairs, these prices here. So basically I want to get up to these yellow lines. Now the last trade was this buy. The MACD Platinum was just below the 0 level. You can read my notes on it. It wasn't a great setup. If I'm talking too quick or something like that, or you don't get it, just pause the video, read my notes, ask me questions, go back to my original notes on the day I took the trade. I'll post a screenshot for all these trades so you can have a look at that, etc. So we've gone up, we've hit this previous high here, we've bounced back down. In the meantime, the MACD was just crossing the 0 level. Now it's definitely crossed the 0 level. Now, it's up to you whether you want to take some action here or not. I've got this target up here I'm going for. I'll give it a day or so, but to be safe, you could either reduce your position size and put a stop in, say, just below where the SMA 20 is, which is that yellow dotted line there, or even below you can see all the moving averages here. We've got a 240 linear weighted moving average, a 100 EMA, and a 50 EMA, and they're all very tight. So it just means there's not much of a trend, and that normally goes hand in hand with the 0 level on the MACD Platinum. Everything's pretty close to it, sort of hugging that line. So, you know, you could reduce your position size, put a stop in place just to reduce your risk if you weren't comfortable with this. It's got to break through that to really get me excited, which it hasn't done yet. Right, Aussie yen, yen pairs. Again, I've been in multiple trades. You can read my notes there, but the last trade was this buy here. It was based on hidden bullish divergence, the green trend lines there. It was a good setup. MACD Platinum's below the zero level. Remember, we're generally looking to buy when it's below the zero level and sell when it's above the zero level. So that was below there. Hasn't really gone. I was hoping to just pop up and take out, go to the previous high here, take out my targets here. Hasn't done it. It's rolled over to yen pair. Of course it has. So there's the entry there. If you're taking a just a normal buy trade with a stop there, your stop would be below this low here somewhere, just below the MAs. Again, the MAs are tightening right up. So that's where your stop would be, somewhere around that blue dot there. Now, you wouldn't have been stopped out, but you may be in a, just watching this, looking for a reversal type signal or something like that. Aussie New Zealand, another one that's going sideways. And look, you can see price has gone sideways for a couple of weeks now. Well, a couple of weeks, then moved up a little bit, then just got this previous high and stopped again. And here you can see how it's just staying just below the zero level. We're in a buy, it's going nowhere fast. That was taken back on the 6th of August, just going zero fast anywhere, anytime soon. And it's not even through the zero level yet on the MACD Platinum, so that just shows you and it started off just below the zero level, it's still not past it. Aussie USD, got a few loss recovery trades going. The last signal was this buy, again, hidden bullish divergence. But the big problem with this is it's this green levels. These are big round numbers. This one down here is a 60-cent level. This one's a 65-cent level. With the Aussie and the USD, these are real like sticking sort of areas. And as you can see, price is just stuck to that like glue since, when's that? May, early May. And you can see it's grinding up price. MACD's not grinding up. We've got that regular bearish divergence. We've got highs here. So my last valid signal was this buy here on the 7th of May. 7th of August. You can read all about it there. And I've got loss recovery targets up here, and we're still at the point of entry, and we're on, 16th of August. When did I say I took that? Yeah, 7th of August, 16th, nearly 10 days later, we're still at the same level. MACD Platinum still below the zero level, so nothing to get too excited about. All right, Bitcoin. I did take some action on this trade this morning. Bitcoin is a 24/7 market, unlike the Forex markets, who are now closed for the weekend. As you can see, the Bitcoin price is the only one ticking over. Not much really happens on the weekend. Even, I think, well, they had their big meeting this morning, Trump and Putin, so I don't think they really achieved much. It's just a good photo op, I guess. Who knows? But this morning, I'm in this buy here, and that's from the 7th of August. I've closed half and brought my stop up nice and tight just to put myself in an overall lose position. The reason the MACD Platinum is now through the zero level, and there's obviously a red QMP filter dot, which is a sell signal. Now, I'm trying to shy away from taking sells on the cryptos. But having said that, this is probably not a bad one to take a sell because it's at the 120,000 level. So that green line there, you can see it's popped up through it there and popped up through there. So you basically got a double top there. So it's not the worst signal to take a sell if you're going to take a sell. I'm not. Another reason I'm not is because the MACD Platinum is just crawled above the zero level there. So I'd rather take buys, which I may regret, but that's just my theory at the moment. This last sell here, which was taken off that 120 level, it was eventually stopped out on the 10th of August, which is last Sunday. So it was the day after I did my video last week. Where is it? 10th. We'll say 10th of August. So in here somewhere. 10th there. So it was stopped out here. I'd already closed half and I took an overall small profit. So I've just left that on the chart to show you. I was stopped out as well. I truly stopped out. So that's done with. So I'm only in this buy and it's going nowhere fast. So I've already closed half, stop in place, can't lose on it, so that's a good thing. But you know, when I first started trading crypto, and I haven't been trading Bitcoin for that long, if you have a look at my spreadsheet, there's a dedicated daily crypto sheet, which is only BTC. I've made some good profits initially, but ever since price sort of got bogged around the 100,000 level, it was hard to make money. Then it had the little shoot up. Mates, I think I made a little bit of cash on the upside. Now it's got 120, and now we're struggling again to make money. So just something to be a bit of trivia for you. Right, Euro Aussie. We're stuck in this range. Seems to be forever. I'm in a traditional hedge, sequence 2. From here, I've already pivoted to the buy side. And all I mean by pivoting to the buy side is this was initially to sell. There was a signal somewhere, it would have been in here somewhere, where I've changed my direction of my trading to buy. I'm not sure where it was exactly. You have to go back through the old videos. So I basically pivoted to the buy side. Instead of being on the sell side, I'm now on the buy side, which I'd rather be, especially with the MACD platinum just below the 0 level in here. And hopefully we can push up to this target. So if this pushes up to this target, probably means the Aussie USD is going down. They tend to inversely correlate. Not always, but a lot of the time. So that yellow line is my traditional hedging type target. Now if it goes up and doesn't make that, which I'd love to see if it did, if it doesn't make it and reverses, I might go into DCA mode if I can. So by that, what I'll be looking at, depending on where price turns, if it's above these buys, where I can start closing these buys out for profit, it'll add to this profit I've already taken. And I can start trying to clear these sell trades in, or even like take maybe that bottom sell trade off or something like that. A bit of pruning, as I've spoke about in other videos. I like the fact they're all pretty close together. I just don't like the fact that all the sells are down the bottom, all the buys are at the top, but you get what I mean. So we're stuck in a range at the moment. Hopefully it just pop through, take out that yellow line, and I can just close this and start afresh. That'd be the ideal scenario. Euro yen, yen pair. Last thing was this buy here. You can read about it there, 13th of August, based on the big hidden bullish divergence, green trend line, MACD platinum long way below the 0 level. So lower lows on the oscillator, which in this case the MACD platinum, and higher lows on price. My concern was this previous high here, and my other concern was, did price come down close enough to the moving averages? It's close, but not quite touching. I prefer to see them touch, but that's close enough for me. So that's just one thing. I just don't like to see huge gaps between, and you can go back on historical charts and have a look at these gaps between the moving averages when you get a signal. They're a low percentage trade. They don't, sometimes they work, of course they do, but a lot of times they don't. So that's just, you want to take the low hanging fruit, as we say. So here's this buy here, and it's gone against me from the get-go because that's just a yen pair being a yen pair. But now it's starting to go back towards my entry level. The MACD platinum's still below the 0 level, so I'm still sort of just going nowhere fast. Euro USD, a little bit sideways all this week. Remember my initial buy trade was here. I'm in DCA mode here, so I am in a dollar cost averaging. The reason I am because the initial trade, this buy trade here, was based on a hidden bullish divergence. So that's something I like, as we all know. And if you had a stop in place, it probably would have been just below the 50 level somewhere. You would have either been stopped out or closed out on that reversal. If you're trading the traditional way, I ignored that. I didn't take a hedge or anything like that. I just ignored that sell, that red dot there. It's coming down. Then because the MACD platinum is still below the 0 level, got this new buy signal here, which is, if you've been out of this is still a good valid buy signal. You would have taken that. Stop would be down here somewhere. Take this. My overall break-even's that yellow dashed line. We've been through it a few times. Last week I discussed about options on how I could manage that if I was smart, and I just decided against it, and it's going to pay off by looks. The MACD platinum still not through the zero level. Seems to be getting close every day. Hopefully it'll push up. We've had a bit of a bullish, small bullish, bearish, bullish. So hopefully we get another bullish candle tomorrow, push up higher. MACD platinum goes through the zero level. I can close maybe what the scenario would be was close trade 1 here for me, and a partial close on this, get a stop in place just below my entry or close to it, put myself in a no lose position with some left over so I could possibly have a run up. That's Euro USD. And just for your information, there's no new trade signals tomorrow, for Monday, sorry, and other than that Bitcoin trade management, that's it on this watch list. So pound Aussie, we're in a buy from back here. It's gone against me, it's come good. You may have been stopped out if you had a traditional stop in place. My stop for this buy, so we're looking back here, the stop, my stop would be below definitely below this low, and I'd probably be below the 240 moving average there. Now there is a good chance not a good chance, it wouldn't be good, it'd be bad. Chance you would have been stopped out on that candle there. So that's probably not ideal, depending where your stop is. You could have come within a few pips, could have been taken out by a few pips, who knows. But if that was the case, you draw a trend line across the highs here, across the bodies, and you could look at taking a second one, because that buy signal is still valid. And all I mean by still valid is even though prices come against you, there's been no red QMP filter dot, so the blue dot's still valid. MACD platinum's heading up, you've got regular bullish divergence, draw these trend lines across the highs. Any of these breaks you could have taken another buy trade. Now I've reduced the risk already, and basically the no lose position on this. There's a stop, the red dotted line, entries there. It's not pretty. MACD platinum's well through the zero level. In the meantime, start to draw these red trend lines in for potential hidden bearish divergence. If the price keeps on going up and that trend line goes above the zero, it's no longer valid. Just delete the lines, the trend lines. So it's a pound Aussie, at least we've got one trade heading in the right direction. Pound CAD, similar, we're in a buy here. Now where your stop would have been, you would have been stopped out if you had a traditional stop in place. I didn't, because and the good thing was, I wouldn't have got out unless there was a reversal, and this buy signal, even though it's a bit hard to see the blue dot there, it's right where the cursor is, probably yellow on the video. There's been no red QMP filter dot down there at all. Again, if you've been stopped out, trend line across the highs from, say, the body of the candles across there, and look for a clear buy, which would have been about where my entry was. That's definitely the clear break there, that one. I'll just draw that in to show you what I'm talking about. Basic trend line. So across like something like this. I know this is after the fact, but this is pretty close to where it be, and I think I did talk about this. Something like that, you just cross the bodies of the candles. Don't get too caught up on exactly where your trend lines are. There's no right or wrong way as long as you're consistent. So there's a break here. Now whether you got there, you may and ahed about it, but definitely there, which was your original entry or close to it, back in. And your MACD platinum still below the zero level, and you've had a new regular bullish divergence there, and basically this support level still held, even though it's dipped down below it. It's not an exact price, remember it's a zone, so that's a valid sort of setup there. And look, it's going up, and we're up to this previous high resistance level. Again, I've drawn trend lines in for potential hidden bearish divergence, but as I said, if it keeps on going up, they're no longer valid. Hopefully it pops up high, because I'm in a buy and we can't lose on this, and I could drag my stop up to just below the 20 SMA, the yellow dotted line there. I'm going to leave it a couple of days. There's no rush unless we get a candle like this, which will really annoy the crap out of me. But even that's not going to stop me out of candle that size. But I don't want to see one of them. I want to push up a little bit higher, see how we go, and I'll try and drag the stop up. Pound Swiss also on a buy. This was taken on a trend line break. I think there was two DCA, S1. So trade 1 was there. Trade 2 was there. I've already closed. 8th of August closed trade 1 and a partial close of trade 2, which is this one here. And stop set. Now I've just trailed my stop up. It's nice and tight to the entry level. And I think I already trade 2. Just trying to think. Hang on a sec. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to pause for a second. Yeah, sorry about that. I just paused the video for a sec. I just saw this red dot on the MACD Platinum above the 0 level, and I just remembered because on my DCA watch list I've got a similar setup on this, and I'm closing, and I'm going to do it on this. This is so I have got something for Monday. This will be it. There'll be some trade management. I've still got 0.1 left on trade 2, so I'll close half of that. So another 0.05. Leave the stop in place. The reason is because there is a red dot on the MACD Platinum above the 0 level. So that's what I'll be doing on Monday. I'll be closing another 0.5 of trade 2 and no adjustment to the stop. So that just gives me more profit, reduces my risk. So that's it. That's the Pound Swiss. That's it for that one. Yeah, all right. All right. Pound Yen. Now don't be too concerned about this. Now this is the one I made another mistake on, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'll probably never tell you. Now this is one that's been giving me a lot of grief. I haven't been able to get any wins all the way up here and lost plenty on it. So most of my problems are on pound pairs at the moment. Pound USD, which has actually come good, or come close to getting good. That doesn't even make sense, English. All right, but this I've been bouncing around. I was in LRQ, which means every dot, which as you can see, there's so many dots here on this. It's funny because this is on 8 cap, but if you looked at, say, something like Pepperstone, there's missing a few of these dots, so I wouldn't have been in the same problems. So it's just got a bit out of hand, got a bit messy. I was unable to make any profits. So the last trade was this buy. Now we've got another one. So I'm just moving to a cleaner chart. It's a little bit easier to read, just so I can give you some information. So it's exactly the same chart. So the last signal was this buy here. Now if you're taking this trade with a stop, your stop would have been below the lows here somewhere, down near the green dot, which is a fairly big stop. It's not huge, but it's big. Now, price has got up to this level here, which is the previous high, and also a big round number, which is a 200. Now, it got to it strongly, but it stalled on Thursday and definitely stalled on Friday. And you can see that on Friday, look here and look over here. On Friday, we're just through the MACD Platinum. So, if you wanted to, you're in just a standalone buy trade, now would be the time to close half and bring a stop up. Now, where you bring your stop ups up to you, probably the smart place would just be below the 50 moving average, which is below the entry. Or if you want to get more aggressive, you could probably bring it up under the 20 SMA. But this would be a good place to take half or reduce your risk and get a stop in place, because we're at a previous high, which is also a big round number, and it is a round number, 200.00. It's a round number, and the MACD Platinum through the 0 level. So it's just something to consider. I'm in a loss recovery, so I'm just going to ride it out as long as I can. Hopefully it won't roll over without a loss, and I can get some profit out of it. So that's the pound yen. Pound USD. Look, I've been banging on this forever. My sequence started somewhere back here, I think. I've got these loss recovery trades on. I've got multiple other trades on. my overall break-even is this yellow line, dashed line here. And look how close we actually pushed through it a couple of times. But if you can read my notes here, I'll just drag them down somewhere it's easy to read. So I checked them on the 14th of the 8th. So that was there, we're at it on the open basically. Where the price is, and I just made a note of what trades give me the, so I can, if I have a quick look at my broker statement, I can see the value in that. It gave me a loss of about 3,426 due to negative swaps. So mainly that was due to swaps. So that's something I really needed to push through that yellow line a bit. But having said that, I will have another sell trade. If it does push through that yellow line, I'll have a sell trade. It'll be stopped out, which will give me more profit. I've already got $684 profit there. That'll probably give me, I'm not sure how much overall, so that'll bump that up probably to about 900 bucks. And if it pushes up, yeah, I'm happy to take a couple of $1,000 loss on this, considering the mistakes I've made and how it's been just dragging me down like an anchor. And it's obviously affecting my margin requirements in the account, has been. But that's how close we are, ladies and gents. That's how close we are to getting out of this pound USD. And that just leaves the pound in the end as my nightmare. Oh. So here's a cleaner chart. This is the same chart. If you're just taking the buy, it's similar to the pound yen. Stop would have been down here, just below the 240. The MACD platinum are through. That's my break-even level. So, but it's a previous high also. So that'd be a good time to close half. You can do it now. It's no big deal. In the meantime, we've got potential hidden bearish divergence forming. So if you're in that S12 buy as a standalone, now would be a good time to close half. Bring your stop up. In this case, I just put it above the entry level, just underneath that low in the SMA 20s, just in here somewhere, and you're good to go. So that's all right. I might just give it one more day, and I might take some action on that last trade myself. But I just want to see if it pushes up a bit, and we'll be good to go. That's the pound USD. New Zealand CAD. Now this has been an absolute dog's breakfast, has been for a long time. The good thing about it, not like the pound USD or the pound yen, this is a New Zealand CAD. It tends to do this for a while. Eventually it'll break out one way. I just got to make sure I'm on the right side when it does. In the meantime, I want to try and get in the DCA mode if I can. That's my plan, but it's just not presenting an opportunity. Just when I think it starts going one direction, it just reverses. You can see it's range bound. I got lots of trades on. The good thing is a lot of these trades are all very close to each other. All those yellow lines are just my overall break-even levels and break-even levels. We just push them through, but we don't stick, there's no follow through in any direction, so it's a bit of a pain. As you can see by the MACD platinum also, it's not really breaking, it gets a couple of dips away, but it's not sort of near the zero level. Pause the video, read all my notes. I just want to push in one direction, and I can just start looking to, even if it comes back down here again, I get a buy signal down here, I might consider start closing the sells if I can. I've got to try and lock in some profit, that's all. That's New Zealand CAD, New Zealand USD. Yeah, well, the good news, it's been a bit scratchy, the old New Zealand USD. It's not really giving me any, we're not loss recovery. We did recover one loss, then we got another loss, then I made a mistake. I entered too big. I managed to close out and recover that, so for a small profit, which was good. But now the last trade was this buy here with the correct position size. Now it poked through the overall break-even levels or the target levels, which were very close. But there was no follow through, and I was never in a position at the end of the day to close out. And plus I want to see the MACD platinum through to zero level, which it hasn't done yet. So we had hidden bullish divergence followed by regular bullish divergence, which is normally a good signal. Look, it's not done yet, but it's not convincing either, so we just got to wait and see. It's not the end of the world, but still got a little bit of a loss to make up, and I don't want to really add to it. USD CAD, this is a bit of a pain, this pair too. So yeah, you can add that to the pound list. In a traditional hedge, S1 here. I think that's hedged at the moment. So S1, that's all these trades up to this one. That's a hedge. Starts with a buy, ends with a sell. It's basically hedge. S4 is sells. It's a bit messy, but if it's probably easy to look on the MACD. So there's the first one, hedge, second one, hedge, third one. So that's got a target, which is that yellow line in there. It's a bit hard to see amongst those trades there, but it's getting a bit messy too. So it's the MACD platinum's been above the zero level for a while. It's just I know this chart looks like a dog's breakfast, but if I'll go to another one, it's a cleaner looking chart. There's my latest trade, was that sell there. We've got this base here, even though the MACD platinum, I like that support level, so hopefully it'll push up. You know, ideally I want to see price go into these trades, so I could maybe start looking at DCA or start pruning these trades, make some profit. So say it keeps on pushing up, maybe say it gets up, even up here somewhere. I could look at maybe close and then we get a sell signal, and with the MACD platinum way up, being above the zero level for so long, I'd be happy with a sell signal there. I'd start looking at closing these buys and possibly pruning one or both of these buys, something like that. I'll try to get these outlier trades cleared if I can. That's the plan. Got a little bit of profit there. Obviously, if it went up higher and was able to close out some buys below, then it'd add to that profit. It'll give me enough maybe to cover that, maybe cover that buy. Who knows? So my last trade was this sell here. If you had taken this with a stop and place, it would have been just above this high somewhere, so just above the red dot and the high there. Just be careful, there's now a blue dot on the MACD platinum above the zero level. So, yeah, not a buy signal as yet, but there's my notes for that actual sell. I know the double up in the charts a bit, but I just like a cleaner chart when I do my explanation of my screenshot. All right, USD Singapore dollar, it's a sell from the 5th of August, and the MACD platinum is just about, well, it is now at the zero level, but there's really not much I can do, not much profit there. I'll give it one more day. If there's another bearish candle, I may look at closing half and just putting a really tight stop in there. Look, most of this is US dollar based, and I've been saying that for a few weeks now. With tariffs and with these summits and stuff, and you know, the Trump administration changing their mind every couple of weeks on everything, the US dollar is getting hammered a bit. Well, not so much hammered, it's just uncertainty in the world. All right, let's move on. Silver, XAG USD in a buy. It's actually going nowhere fast. It was a good setup, hitting bullish divergence. Price came back to the moving averages nicely. Obviously, my concern is just it looks like it's weakening a bit, but it's still got the potential to push up. Big round numbers. We've got $35, $40 level there. It's obviously the 30 level there. So we're in a buy, and we're basically my entry price. And the MACD platinum's still below the zero level. So again, if you took this buy, you'd have your stop and place down here somewhere. You could probably consider dragging it up, reduce risk, bring it up near the 50 or something if that was a concern for you. XAU USD, which is gold, very similar sort of setup, except this is more based on a support level there. It's all a bit tighter with the MACD platinum, and we've got this big level up here, which is very close to the 3,500 level. As we all know, I've been saying about this one, came in 3 cents. But we've got this pretty obvious resistance level and price, which can be extended along a bit. So, and there's my entry here, as I said, support level. And the MACD platinum's gone through the zero level, but really not much for me to do other than the only option would have been to close the trade and wait for a better signal. But the way I try to give trades a little bit of room, a little bit of time to move. So if you had a stop and place a bit below this low here, but we've got a red dot on the MACD platinum above the zero level, so it wouldn't be the worst thing if you exited there. So that's it for the charts. We've got one more. We'll just have a look. We always have a look at the US 500, which is the US stock market. So this says, as I say all the time, it's got a bullish bias. It's a stock market of companies, unless there's a big overall downturn in the market. Generally, if you've got 499 companies heading up and one's heading down badly, that one normally gets removed from the list and replaced with a company that is going in the right direction. It's a loaded index sort of thing. What is it? Promotion and relegation, like in the football. But yeah, it's the last signals is buy here. Now, that whether it's come back close enough to the moving averages, I don't think so. I don't like that. And it is struggling to break this previous high, but we have technically got a new high here. One of these, probably the Friday's candle's probably a new high, but that could change on Monday. We don't know what the fallout of the summit is yet. There's not much being said. It's only early days, so until I guess the European leaders and the Ukrainian president gets debriefed, we're not really going to hear the gist of it. But as I said earlier, I think it was just a photo shoot. I've had a bit of a bitch about it in the Telegram channel. I had a few beers under my belt during the week when my brother was here, and it's strange. It's there's an international arrest warrant out for Putin, which is a recognised court, which Joe Biden was happy to, execute if the opportunity arose. But change of president, somehow that arrest warrant's no longer valid, and he's obviously on US soil today. So it's a joke. The whole world's a bit of a joke when it comes to the policing and the jurisdictions, the international stuff and that. But all right, what are we? We're just the plebs and small part of the machine. All right, that's my little rant. All right, so it's going to be interesting on Monday. Look, Bitcoin hasn't moved much, so there's really not much to get excited about from this summit, I don't think. I don't know. It just depends on what the markets, or if anything else is said over the weekend, or any further news released about it. Who knows? All right, that's 37 minutes. I've been rabbiting on long enough. Thanks for watching, guys and girls. Like I said, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe button. That's always appreciated. All right, cheers.